Welcome to our podcast. Rise Life Services presents Talk to Me, hosted by Jocelyn and Caitlin. Enjoy the talk. Our disclaimer: Aid to the Developmentally Disabled Inc., DBA, Rise Life Services. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are the speaker's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of Rise Life Services. The material and information presented here is for general discussion purposes only. Rise Life Services name and all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owner, with no intent to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything. In addition, it does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service. The information provided and discussed is not for professional advice. Rise Life Services is not responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from the use of this podcast. You should always consult with your own personal mental health provider and/or professional prior to taking any action based upon information presented. If you are thinking about suicide, struggling with substance use, experiencing a mental health crisis, or any other kind of emotional distress, you can call, text, or chat the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, connecting you to trained crisis counselors 24/7. In case of an emergency, call 911.
Hi, welcome to our podcast called Talk to Me. I am your host, Jocelyn. This is my co-host.
My name is Caitlin. Hi.
We are from the Enrichment Experience program here at Rise. We're here to talk about our lived experience with mental health to help break the stigma and let our listeners know they aren't alone and it's okay to get help, as well as being there for someone else who may need it. This podcast is for educational purpose to help boost the confidence within ourselves. Also, as a quick warning, there may be topics that may be triggering, and we will let you know beforehand. Please keep an open mind. This is a judgment-free zone. Hope you enjoy. On today's episode, our topic is self-image. So on that, the way I perceive myself is someone shy, but yet very bold. I show most of the way I am by jewelry, fashion, shoes, but I won't say much. I feel like I'm very quiet, and just my outfit and my hair kind of says it all for me.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm also very shy, but after getting to know somebody, I would open up some more. And the way I express myself is through art. Sometimes I like to paint and draw, and listen to music. So listening to music is also a way of me escaping into another world when I want to block out my thoughts. So yeah.
That's true. I mean, I have noticed that you express yourself through art, not mostly verbally, which makes sense. A lot of us, I think, are scared to be judged by what we say or whatever, and it's just easier to wear it on ourselves.
Yeah. Exactly.
I feel like it takes a lot for someone to be able to really speak confidently.
It definitely does. It takes time to have that confidence to say what comes to mind, or yeah.
Knowing that you're a model, it's I give you kudos because that's a lot. I would not have that self-confidence for myself, so that's pretty awesome.
I appreciate that because it definitely takes me a lot to have that confidence. It's easier when you're first starting off on that one-on-one with a photographer only, and then it build your way up with more people around you, outdoor photography. Mm-hmm. I would always love taking pictures and getting dressed up because my day-to-day life, I don't normally dress up and wear makeup. So when I do get to do that, it's like another side of me that I don't show much. So yeah, it's just what I do for funsies for now, but I would like to do it as
like a career.
Yeah, the only people I admire the most are supermodels, because that's where I'd like to be in life someday. So this is Eric we have here. He's also our co-worker at Rise.
Yes, so I'm Eric. I also work here at the enrichment program. Self-image for me is very, I think, and for a lot of people, it's very important. And it's more than just, how you might see yourself physically. I think there's a lot of different things that come into play. And one of the hardest things, I think, for me over time was, accepting and really like embracing those parts of me that like I did see that, I knew were like really there and core parts of me, but maybe like felt at one point were like weird, or like other people may not have, would kind of separate me from other people. So like I feel like my self-image, the important thing is, as like throughout my life, was then learning to accept the different parts about me that make me unique. And now it's really great because I can, I do see myself, in a positive way, and I think I'm, I think I'm good, talking to people. I think I have, I'm pretty approachable, and I'm kind, and all these things kind of make up, that part of my self-image. But then there's a lot of other stuff like that I do that's really just between like me and myself that contributes to it. Like Caitlin said, and I think it's really great that you brought up art, because that's one way, whether I can express myself by being kind and nice and easy to, and a good friend and good to talk to, because that's all of course part of who I am. But really those other parts, like art can sometimes say things that words can't. You can express feelings and emotions and whatever's on your mind kind of in a way that maybe you might not have words for. So I think it's really awesome. So I'll do that. I like to play music, so and that makes me feel good, because my self-image, saying to myself like, yeah, I'm a musician, right? Like I have this skill. It feels nice, and and I think I see myself as a fairly adventurous person, which is great, because for a while, you start to realize, okay, like one of my hobbies, right? I like to spend a lot of time outside, a lot of time in nature, whereas like maybe a lot of my peers aren't doing that, and they're out doing other things. It might make you feel a little weird at first, but
that's what makes you unique.
Right. That's not always a bad thing, because like, no, you're not weird and solitary. Like you enjoy having fun adventures and going out and doing stuff, and that's kind of part of it,
Yeah.
So, and I do like to share that with other people, so it's not, a weird thing. So, yeah, so, I feel like my self-image is complex, and that's cool, and I think it's always changing too. And an important thing is like when it's changing, just trying to be mindful that it's in a positive way.
100%.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. Like, I feel like if I look back at myself, maybe 10 years ago, completely different from now. Like, I would not be able to wear bold glasses or have that crazy kind of hair. I was starting to with like haircuts, but never really as much as I do now. Like, I have tattoos, and I like to put what I like on myself, because I like showing that artwork. And it's definitely like something I'm proud of, because just like I'm telling you who I am. My face might say that like I don't want you to approach me, but you're more than welcome to, because I'm probably just really, really shy and awkward. Like, I'm thinking you're gonna judge me for my corniness, because I love being corny.
Right.
And I think that's something a lot of people are really afraid to
Express.
And it's true. I'm scared of being my authentic self with people, because then they're going to be like, all right, who are you?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
what are you doing here being this random person jumping up and down all smiley, I genuinely love to smile. I like making others feel good. I like being there for someone. So just like Caitlin had said, you know, once you really get to know me, I'm a completely different person.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've noticed that throughout the months that I started working here. Like, I was quiet, very to myself. And then all of a sudden, I'm throwing these jokes out of nowhere, and they're just like, where did that come from?
Same.
Yeah.
I would also like to add that, being that Jocelyn brought up that I model, I would like to add that modeling is something that just like almost everybody in this world, we were once bullied, and modeling gives me that confidence that I once never had. So it's just that's also
A way to, like, I don't know. I feel like I understand what you're saying,
No,
and I can't find those words.
I love that you said that, because that kind of ties into, because like what you said before about being afraid to be your authentic self sometimes, and judgment and like of that, I think that's totally normal to experience. I think everybody experiences that at some point. You know, you're afraid to really be yourself. But, you know, like he was saying, there's always things like for you it's modeling, maybe for me it's climbing, where like in the past maybe you've been through something like bullying, right? So maybe like you were bullied. When I was younger, I've always been sort of a smaller dude, right? Which in society is not always as accepted sometimes. I'm sure, you know, I dealt with bullying too. And then you finally find something that kind of like, it's always been there, it's a part of you, you know, and it gives you that confidence that kind of says and allows you to say to yourself, oh, all that stuff that happened, like, they're wrong. Like, look at me now. I do have confidence.
Exactly.
I am doing this thing, you know.
Yeah.
For me, it's like having always been like
people
that,
doubting you.
Yeah, the doubt.
Look at me now.
Yeah, not taking you, and then you find your way into something that makes you, you know, that one day you look in the mirror and you go, oh, I am strong. Oh, I am, you know, confident. Oh, I am, you know, all these really awesome things, you know. So I think it's really, you know, on one hand, you can be really afraid of being, you know, judged, and it might be hard to be your authentic self at first, but it's also really like, there are those things out there that you can attach yourself to that can almost challenge that fear of judgment, right? Like that fear tells you, maybe my authentic self is weird, my authentic self is like, you know, not good. But now you have something where you can say, oh, wait, no, brain, that's not the case. You know, look at all these amazing things I can do, and that, you know, I love. It makes it a part of me, you know. So.
Definitely. I just feel like it just does take a lot of time. And it's okay, you know, for it to be, you find who you are later down in life.
Exactly. And you could be in your 40s, 50s, 60s and still finding your way through life and still finding self-love. It doesn't happen overnight.
Because it's kind of like a journey, right? Like, at least what I've found with at least my experience with my own self-image and everything that comes with it. Even if I just think of back from high school up until now, so like 15 years, it kind of has been a journey. It has its ups and its downs, and like you learn as you go. So it does take time, but it's one of those things where, you know,
it's a fun journey.
Yeah.
You know?
You just keep doing you and stay strong and have that hope that, you know,
you find someone else who loves you just for who you are, and they appreciate, you know, all those quirky little things
that you once hated about yourself, or that...
Yeah. Because we are out here, you know. We're all so different, but we all care for each other no matter what. Like, we're on all different types of hobbies that we like, and there's no judgment whatsoever, because it's just the way we express ourselves. It's who we are, and there's nothing wrong with being different. It's what makes you stand out and makes you you.
Exactly. The world will be boring if everyone was the same.
100%.
I'm being so cheesy, but
it's true though.
It's 100% true. You know, I think if everybody was the same, you know, where would we be, right?
Right.
Yeah. On that note, thank you for tuning in. Hope you stay tuned for the next one. Enjoy.
That's the outro.
That wraps up another episode of Talk to Me. We hope today's conversation brought insight, encouragement, or maybe just a moment of reflection. Remember, your voice matters, and we're here to keep the dialogue going. Whether you're part of the Rise community or just tuning in, we're grateful to have you with us. Be sure to follow us on your favorite podcast platform and stay connected at riselifeservices.org, online for mental health support, services, updates, resources, and future episodes. Until next time, take care of yourself, support each other, and keep talking. Thanks for listening to Talk to Me. If you are thinking about suicide, struggling with substance use, experiencing a mental health crisis, or any other kind of emotional distress, you can call, text, or chat the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, connecting you to trained crisis counselors 24/7. In case of an emergency, call 911